and lining to it. Okay, so if you followed up the live stream of yesterday, you'll be able to know the measurement I took for this bag. So the same measurement we are going to take for the lining, and in this case I'm using these pieces for the lining. Remember, if you've forgotten the measurement, yesterday's measurement was 14 inches in width by 12 inches. So go and watch the part 1 of this video. So I've cut out 2 of them. These are the only pieces you are going to need for the lining. So I also have my zipper here, which is 13 inches in length. So zipper measurement is 13 inches by 1 inch. So there's a zipper stopper here. So what I did here, I cut out an interface, that paperish kind of interface I showed to you guys, the one that feels like a paper. It's also called stained. It's also called stained, and it's mostly used by tailor. And this interface measures this is the measurement 2.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So I cut it out and I placed it, I ironed it actually on this fabric. Then this is an excess fabric. The fabric is excess, like 1/2 inch. So I ironed it. I didn't gum it. I just ironed it in place. So this is going to be the zipper stopper. Remember, I just talked about the measurement of this zipper, and it's 13 inches. Okay. So when you fold it in like this, you're going to use it as a zipper stopper. Okay, just fold it in. You don't have to use your gum. And if you have a double-sided tape, I love using that double-sided, so it's going to come like this. Very, very simple. Just take that paperish kind of interface, also called stained, mostly used by tailor. You cut 1.5 inches in length, in width rather, by 2.5 inches in length. Then you take that part that has gum on it, then you iron on the wrong side of your fabric. So it's going to come like this. Okay, this is how to get your zipper stopper. You can also get the metal zipper stopper. So if you don't have money, or if you can't get that one to buy, you can do something like this, and it's very, very easy to get. So I'm just going to sew this to the zipper. So I'll clip it in place. We are going to sew this to the zipper. Remember, we are fixing the lining for this bag, and we're also fixing the zipper to this tote bag that we started yesterday. So I'm just going to quickly sew through this now. I'm bending down also. So the orientation of my phone is not in the right direction. I've tried to do that, not actually working yesterday. So you will see what happened. It was kind of bent. So I'm going to be using my hand mostly. I want the stitches to be very neat. Then I will turn. So I'm sewing the zipper stopper. So in this part, on this part where you have the zipper teeth, I will advise you to back stitch, because you really want it to be secured on that part. So I'm just going to back stitch. Okay, I want it to be secured. Then I'll come back again. Take note of these things I'm saying, very important. Then I will turn. Okay, I'm going to turn. Continue sewing. And I'll back stitch. Okay. Cut off this thread. Cut this off too. Then this excess fabric, I'm just going to burn the excess fabric here. Not excess fabric, excess thread rather. So I will take my firelight. Thank you. Then I'll burn quiet. Okay. So this is zipper stopper. Fixed it. So I'm going to sew the lining right now. So to sew the lining, okay, before the lining, let's sew the zip. So I will take we've already cut this out. So the measurement of this is let's confirm. Measurement of this is about 10 inches. Okay, it's about 10 inches. I don't know if you can see, 10 inches by 2.5 inches, by 2.5 inches. So because I want this part of the zipper panel to be folded, I don't want the raw edges to be seen, so I measured out 0.5 inches. Let me use this that I've not prepared. So the measurement of this is 9 inches. It's 9 inches. Okay, sorry, it's 10 inches by 2.5 inches. Okay, so I measured out on both sides. I measured out 0.5 inches because we are going to be folding it like this to close these raw edges, to cover it up. We don't want these raw edges to be seen, so you fold it like this. Okay, and you clip, you fold it, you bend it towards this 0.5 inches mark that you've made, you clip like this. Okay, so this is what I've done here. So we are going to be sewing this zipper to it, the zipper for the lining. That's what we are trying to fit now. So first of all, to sew this, to do this, what you are going to do, you take your zipper. Here's the zipper. Okay, so you take the right side of your zip. Okay, you're going to take the right side of your zip, and this is the right side of your panel, the zipper panel. I'm going to make sure that I'm laying them like this, right side facing right side. But one thing you should know is we are going to turn this. We wouldn't want this to be seen, this raw part of the zipper, so we are going to hide it. So I'm going to bend it. So I will always advise you to mark out a particular mark where you want this to stop. So for instance, if I'm going to place it, I'm just going to take like 0.5 inches away from the top, because that's where the zipper panel or the zip is going to start from. So you take your zipper, I'm going to bend it from this mark that I've made. You bend it with the raw side, the right side of the zipper facing the right side of the zipper panel. So I'm just going to bend it like this. So take note, this tutorial is for beginner. If you're already familiar with this, you can still watch. No knowledge is wasted. So I'm just going to clip them in place. Make sure the edges are aligned. Okay, make sure the edges are aligned. So I'm just going to clip them. All right, so once I've clipped, I am going to base it in place. So I'm going to sew it in place. But if you are very versatile in sewing, if you are good in sewing, you can actually sew the three of them together. You can lay this again on this. You can lay this, the lining. I've cut out the lining. The lining is supposed to be cut out with the same measurement with the external, but I will want the lining to be a bit excess. Okay, that's what I do when I cut out my lining. I ensure it's like 0.5 inches excess compared to the external. Okay, there's a reason for that, so that by the time you are sewing, it doesn't streak, and you'll be having some errors when that happens. So most time you just ensure you cut your lining like 1 inch or 0.5 inch excessive compared to the external. That's like a trick, because when you cut it exactly, you are supposed to cut exactly the same size with the external, but when you do that, you are about to make mistakes, like errors are about to occur as a beginner, so you will not be able to figure that out. So I will advise you to always cut a bit excess. So I'm just, if you are good in sewing, if it's possible for you, you can sew the three of them together. So but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to base the lining, I'm going to base the zipper to the external first. Thereafter I'll come back and sew the lining with the right side of the lining faced to the right side of the external. Okay, so let's do that first. So I'll just sewing. When you are sewing, you can just unzip. So I'm just going to unzip the zipper. Then I'll back stitch at this point. And I'll start sewing. I'll zip. So make sure that the edge of your line, of your zipper is on the edge of your external zipper panel. Okay. Okay, then I'm just checking to see if it's sewing. So you can just unzip totally down. Thank God there's a stopper here, so it's not the zip edge is not going to come out. So you should unzip totally down. So I'm just trying to base it in place. So I'm just pulling gently. I'm pulling on the zip. I don't want it to kind of like, if you don't pull, it's going to be kind of squeezed. I don't know how to put it. So just make sure you pull gently on the zipper, but not tightly, but gently. Okay. So when I get here, just back stitch, then I will remove it. All right. Cut off this thread. Cut this off. Okay, so I'm just going to take the lining also with the right side of the lining face to the right side of the external panel of the zipper. So I'll base it in place. You can see that it's excessive. The lining is, I measure the lining in XX, okay, because oh my god. So guys, all right, so I have a client here, so it's going to take a bit of time. Are you ready? The bag. So guys, sorry, I just have a client, so I'm just going to fold the edges. Okay, so if your fabric is thick enough, you don't have to fold. You don't actually have to fold. So I'm just going to fold it and sew on it. So I'm just going to ensure that the edges are aligned, so you can clip in place if you want. And clip in place. How are you? So I'll just okay, let me quickly fuse the thread. Laura, come on, with this thing. Come on, remove. Okay.
Can I have one black line?
Laura, please look for those things. She said she needs a black line. Ask her now, film me.
Don't vex, Abby.
No, no vex.
I know they have before.
No, no vex.
I pass it before yesterday. I just
I don't vex. Okay, ma. I don't vex. If I for call you and you should give me your number now. So I'm just going to sew. Thank you, ma. Thank you. So make sure that the lines are aligned. Thank you, ma. Shema, I need to package it for her. So I'm just going to so as I said before, you can actually sew the three of them together if you are already expert in this field. But if you are a beginner, I would advise you to sew the zipper first to the external before sewing the lining to it. Okay, so I'm just going to sew. All right, then I'll cut the thread off. Cut the thread off. So I'm going to cut this off, this one part that is sticking out, but don't cut too close to it. Okay, so that's because it's going to add a bit like a security to it, so you don't cut too close to that. And try just go finished. I'm just going to put this part of the ruler. So when sewing, I've sewn this one. I was just trying to fix my thread. Make sure you use a red thread down. I've always advised you to do that so that it matches, though I can't get my red thread right now, so I'm just going to use a black thread since I'm using this to practice. I'm just going to look for, aside from nylon, look for anyone please now. Oh my god, people are leaving my lights. So I'm just going to, sorry, I have a customer here. I have a customer. So I'm going to fold this edge too. Can you manage that one? Manage that one. So I'm going to fold this edge too. Okay. So once I fold it like this, can you manage that one? So I'm just going to sew. I'm just going to sew this. Alright. Okay guys. I'm just going to sew this close. Alright. Thank you, ma'am. I'm just going to sew this close. Okay. Laura, come and read this straight one. This is giving me issues. Read this one. That's why I don't like using the other one. Use that tray. Use that tray first. Sorry guys. I don't know. Okay, first of all, a client came to patronize me, so I just have to attend to her in a bit. So I'm sorry for that break. I'm just going to bring my thread out. I'm just so I'm folding this part into. I don't want the raw edges to be seen. So you're still sewing the zipper panel. Okay. So I will go on the previous stitch that is there. And back stitch. Alright. I'm going to cut this off. So trim this excess off. Right. So this is the first zipper panel. Okay. We're just going to do the second one. Okay. We're going to do the second part. So it does not necessarily mean that you have to start from this part, half inch mark. You can start from the top. Okay. So I'll just sew the second one. So I'll mark out half inch mark. Laura. I'm doing live. So guys, sorry, I'm just talking to my neighbor. So I'll just take half inch. I'll take half inch. Guys, sorry for it. I know a lot of, I'm sorry for the interruption and everything. So you take half inch and I'm going to be sewing these 2 discs. Okay, so in sewing, okay, so let me mark half inch here. Let the half inch be on this place, on this part. So I'll mark half inch. So I'll take this because I want to hide the raw edges, okay, of this zipper, and I've marked 1/2 inch out. So this way we're going to be placing it like this. So I'm just going to clip it. Then I'll make sure that the zip is aligned. The right side of the zip is on top of this external panel, zipper panel, and they are aligned like this. Laura, please close that door. Sorry for the noise, guys. So I'm just going to base on it, sew a basing stitch on it. So as I said, you can remember we are also sewing lining. If you can sew everything together, you can actually pin. You can sew the right side of the lining to the right side of the external. You can just pin everything together like this and sew. So for beginners, I will advise you to sew the zipper to the external first. So we are just going to base this in place. So back stitch first. Also assuring that they are aligned. The lining, I don't know why I keep saying lining. Ensure that the zipper is aligned to the external. So I'm just ensuring that the zipper is aligned to the external panel. Okay, now it's moving away from that. It's moving away, but it's not bad, but make sure it does not move away. So once you get to where the zipper head is, you can unzip it down. You can unzip it down so that you're able to sew through it without any difficulties. So I'll bring it down. So make sure this one is bent. So once you get here, you back stitch. Okay, take my thread is stuck again. I'll just cut a bit of this off. Remove the thread. So I'm going to sew the lining to this now. So I'll ensure that the lining, the right side of the lining is on the right side of the external, not on the zipper. Okay, so the right side of this lining should be on the right side of this external. So just watch as I'm going to do it, and remember we are still going to fold. So I actually cut out excess 1/2 inch on each side around the lining because we are folding. So I will clip them in place. Okay, to be enough for folding. So I'll just move this one a bit down. But that is not enough. It went off. I just want to resume now. So the legs, let me quickly fix the regler. You have plugged this, right? Okay, sit down now. So I'm just going to sew. So you can still sew on the same stitch. To sew the lining to it, you can turn and sew on the same stitch. So just make sure you follow the same stitch. And in this case, I'm just going to fold this. As I said, if you are using, when you are using a thick fabric like suede or velvet that is thick, you don't have to fold, guys, if it's thick. But I'm just going to fold, except you are using a very light fabric. So that's when it's necessary to fold. I'll back stitch. So I'm just following, making sure I'm following that same stitch. thread stuck. Thread is getting stuck, guys. So just make sure you follow that same stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to raise this up and unzip totally. All right, then I'll continue stitching. Okay, it wasn't even sewing. Let me check and see what happened. Why was it not sewing? Okay, let me use this one. It's one of those things. Okay, wasn't sewing. I don't know what happened, so I'm just going to use another ruler. I'll cut this part off. So I'll sew again and back stitch. So don't worry if if your lining is coming out. If your lining is coming out, you can always trim off the excess. Then I'll back stitch. Okay. So this is the zipper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to top stitch on it. Okay, I'm going to be top stitching on it. So you can just fold it like this and clip. All right, so I'll fold this one too. And I'll clip. All right, because the zipper is going to be coming like this. I don't know if you can see it. All right, so on this part we are just going to sew from this part all around it. Okay, I'll start from here. That's it first. Now turn. So the zipper panel. So in the zipper panel, I don't know if you can see it. So as I said, you should use a thread that matches with the lining at the gown when doing yours. So I just and I'll turn. And back stitch. Cut off the thread. I'm just going to cut this off. Okay. So this zipper That's the zipper panel. That's the zipper panel, guys. So we have our lining here. So I'm just going to be laying them side by side. So we're going to be laying our lining side by side. So I'm just clipping them in place now. We clip them in place. Remember, we are sewing a tote bag with a zipper in front. Okay, don't forget this is what we are sewing. So I'm just going to clip them in place. So I'm just going to sew from here down to this place. But when you sew, guys, when you get to this place at the bottom, you back stitch here. You sew from here to here, you back stitch. You're going to be leaving space. Remember, we are turning the back inside out, so you're definitely going to leave space where you're going to be turning the external back inside out. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. We have not sewn the zipper. Okay. Thank you. There's something I did here. I didn't align them well. Okay, so this place I was supposed to align starting from the edge here. I did not. So you can see that as a result, it's not aligned here too. So don't repeat my mistakes, please. So though there's a way I'm going to find my way out of this. Okay, I'm going to fix these errors. So it's not a big deal. I'm just going to back stitch here. Remember, we are back stitching at this point because we are going to be leaving space where we are going to turn the external inside out. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this part off now. This is the excess because I didn't start from the top. All right, so please don't make the same mistake I'm making. I'm just going to trim this off. Okay, so I'm going to sew from this place and sew up to this place. Okay, I will leave about 5 inches. Okay, you can leave about 10 inches depending on how thick and hard your bag is, where you can turn your external inside out. So I'm just going to sew with like 1/2 inch seam allowance. So back stitch first. Okay, turn. back stitch here. Remember, I'm kind of leaving space where I'm going to be turning my bag inside out. So once you've done it like this, here's the zipper panel. All right, so the zipper, the next thing we are going to be doing is to sew the zipper panel to the bag, and the zipper panel will be sewn to the external. Okay, the zipper panel will be sewn to the external. So the first thing you are going to do is to bend it and fold it into two. So we are going to cut a notch. All right, we are going to cut a notch, guys. I'll cut a notch, then I'll fold this into two, then I'll cut a notch, guys. So what I'm going to do, this notch part is going to be on this notch part. Okay, the notch part here is going to be on this notch part. So I will align them. So I'm sewing the zipper panel to the external bag. So I will sew it. All right, so I'm going to just sew on it to hold it in place. So I'll just turn this to this. Sorry, guys. Use that thing for me, it's not. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the thread. Sorry. Guys, I'm just going to sew this in place now. That's true. I'm sewing the zipper panel to the external body. So it's quite hard there because we are sewing a lot of fabric now. Stitch. It's quite hard. I'm just basically using my hand. Okay. So I'm just going to sew the other part. Laura, please open the window. So when I sew this part, it's going to look like this. Okay, it's going to look like this. So this is the zipper panel. Okay, so I'm just going to sew the other zipper panel to it. So I'm sewing it to the external. Okay, I'm just turning to ensure that my zipper is not squeezed. So there's a notch that we've already cut and there's a notch on it. So I'll just align them now with the right side facing the right side. So I will clip them in place. So guys, I'm going to sew from this point all to this point. Okay, I'll fold because it's quite flexible. We'll come to the machine again. back stitch. I'm basically using my hand, but it's quite hard, a bit hard. And back stitch. Right, let's move here. So okay, remember we are doing a soft bag. All right, so this eye is going to be coming. So the last thing we are going to be sewing now is the zipper. So we are going to be putting the zipper inside this bag. All right, so we are going to be putting the zipper inside the bag. Okay, and that's okay, it's coming out well. So this is the closure. I'm not sure if we can do that today. Okay, all right, so this eye is going to turn out for today. Tomorrow we are going to continue this tutorial. We continue tomorrow, okay guys, and have a nice time. Bye. I'm sweating, this place is quite hot. Bye.